Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Jason Lipfeld. This is the Hostos Student Leadership Academy Winter Workshop Series for 2024. As mentioned previously, this is our 16th year of doing it, and we're excited to have you with us. All these students from all over the City University of New York, the Hostos students, as well as students from all the other colleges. Thank you for joining us and participating. Uh, we've had some great workshops so far, and I'm happy to say we have an incredible speaker this afternoon, Ms. Tasheena Salmon. She has an and I'm more I'm I'm pressing buttons and I'm talking. She has an amazing skill set. Professionally, she works as a social worker, but she also is an entrepreneur, podcaster, um, and a number of other skill sets that I think that she's going to share with you today. Her conversation should be enlightening, especially for those of you that want to explore the opportunities that you have as your goals for yourselves as you move forward in your careers. And I think that she will enlighten you and help you to get to those places. So without further ado, because I'm stumbling over my words and because it's your turn to talk, I turn it over to Ms. Tasheena Salmon.
Thank you, Jason. Good afternoon, everyone. It will be nice to see your lovely faces, but if you don't want to turn on your camera, I understand. Thank you, Jason, for inviting me for, I think this is my third year with Hostos. Just about, if you signed up for this workshop, I think today I'm going to focus on life beyond the degree and just balancing a degree in entrepreneurship. And I chose that topic because no one really talked about that when I was in college and focusing on all my degrees. And everybody was just like one lane, one minded. And until I left college and venture into entrepreneurship about like 3 years ago or about 4 years ago. Um, and I was like, this is a conversation we need to have because it's not just only a career. We see so many people that add on other things under their belt because it's not just one. It doesn't have to be just one. So if you sign up, that means I'm assuming that you have some thought of entrepreneurship, whether it's an online boutique, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's consultation, but you want to do something else besides the degree. So put like a one in the chat if you have a desire to also be an entrepreneur when you finish your degree. Oh, okay. Thank you. I see two. Okay, thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Great. Thank you for participating. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope I'm able to shed some light into what that world looks like, being an entrepreneur and covering a 9 to 5, right? Um, and also just like balancing both worlds. So let me share screens again if you want. Thank you, Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina took her camera off. If you do want to show your beautiful face, I would love to see it. And
Hi,
also,
Jason. It's been a long time.
thank you, Cynthia. And also, please feel free to ask me any questions. If I'm going too fast, please let me know as well. I don't mind stopping and answering any questions. Okay. I hope everyone can see my screen. Tell me, okay, wonderful, because technology is just not my friend sometimes. All right. All right, let me go. A little bit about me. I love doing this workshop because I'm also a CUNY girl. I am from the Boogie Down Bronx, but currently sleep in Florida. I will not claim this state. I am just trapped here. I moved to Florida 5 years ago, but I'm a New Yorker through and through. My career started at Bronx Community College. I did my associates in psychology. Then I did a few years at Lehman, but decided to leave Lehman College and I went to Mercy College and I finished my psychology degree there. And after that, I was an educator for about 15 years. I was a teacher in the classroom, and then I became a dean of students. Um, Crazy that I jumped from that and decided to go get my master's in social work from NYU. So your network is your net worth. And a lot of people will say that, but I'm here to tell you it is true. Now I'm working as a clinical social worker and I specialize in mental health and substance abuse. So you see me here today. I've been up since 3:30 this morning because I work in medication assisted treatment program with individuals, adults specifically, who suffer from opioid use disorder. So on top of all of that, I'm also an entrepreneur. Crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. But I also run a candle company called the Simple Pleasures Candle Company. And I am also an author. I've written a book already that goes along with my podcast that I have. And I also am a mentor. Most of my mentees I have for quite some time. I have 4 young ladies that I've been their mentor now for at least 10 years. I age myself, but I started to become their mentor when they were 13 and they're all now like 24. And I also have social workers that I mentor as well in the clinical space. I'll keep going. I need to go forward. Okay. I don't know why that is there. I'm so sorry. Clearly, I was doing this half asleep. All right. So to get to how it all started, you have to start with a vision. Now, a lot of people might think, okay, I have a pretty successful academic career, right? On paper, my resume looks beautiful. All right. My professional career is successful both from education and also as a clinical social worker, but I wanted more. If you ever think about it, like people like Rihanna and most celebrities never just stop at one thing, right? Rihanna wouldn't hit $1 billion and become a billionaire if she just stuck to singing. She entered into the space of skincare and makeup and clothing, right? So a lot of times I challenge professionals, why do we limit ourselves? Why do we always think it's only our degree that can open doors and we don't have to limit ourselves at all? A lot of us are so well-rounded individuals, whether you want to start a nonprofit, a catering company, tech world, whatever you want to do, it is possible, but it all starts with a vision, right? The good old saying, write the vision and make it plain. It's not just a saying. I wouldn't have been able to balance the world of an entrepreneur and a clinical social worker if I did not write my vision down. I'm sitting at my desk right now and I can show you all the notebooks that I have. I have a professional notebook and I also have a business notebook, right? And in both of them, I have my goals. It's good to have goals, but you need to have realistic goals. And I have my 10-year plan, my 5-year plan, my 1-year plan. And a lot of people talk about these plans, but when you're planning, be honest with me in the chat right now. How many of you, when you're planning, do you also plan to fail? Put a 2 in the chat if you think about failing. Oh, thank you, Sabrina, for being honest. And Emily put 3 too. Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh my God, I love your honesty. This is probably the first time people are honest to say, yes, I also plan to fail. I've encountered a lot of young people that say they are afraid to fail. How many of you are afraid to fail? It's impossible to not think about failing. Wonderful. Thank you, Sabrina. Not wonderful. Don't ever be afraid to fail. Failing is a part of the journey, so plan for it. Yes, it is an opportunity, Elizabeth. I love that. Plan to fail as well when you're planning. So you need that notebook. You cannot keep it all in your brain. You have to at some point turn your brain off. And that's the clinical social worker in me, right? It's okay to be scared, Cynthia. It absolutely is. Nothing I've done was me saying confidently, I'm going to do great. No, I was scared. I was scared going back to grad school after taking such a long time off and scared to leave from being an educator to now being a therapist. I was scared to take that jump, but I didn't want to live in the what if. I was scared to start my candle business in the middle of COVID. I was afraid to do that, right? 2020 it falls. Yes, Sabrina. No, 2020. I think we all need therapy from 2020. I don't think any of us have recovered from 2020. But I did that afraid, right? I wrote my plan. I wrote my vision, and I didn't know what I was doing when it comes to candles. It was just one of those at-home things, like this cannot be my life. I was working from home at the time with a different organization here in Florida. And I'm like, this cannot be it. I cannot just be on the clock for 10, 12 hours. I need to breathe. And something just said create candles. And I'm like, there's no way. I don't know how to make them. I know how to light them. They smell good. That is it. And I grabbed a notebook, went on the good old University of YouTube, and I started researching. I went on Google and I started researching. And everything came to me, and I just create my full plan, and then I put it into action. And when I put that into action, everything I did when it came to either the candle business or the podcast or even writing the book, when I decided to move forward and say action, let's get it done, execute, I was ready because I wrote that plan down. I was like, this could either be successful, or if it doesn't go so well, at least I know I did it and now I can learn from it, right? So do it afraid. Don't ever not be. That's going to keep happening because I don't know what's going on with this thing. All right. So I'm going to spend a little time. I love that most of you said you want to be entrepreneurs. And the next couple of slides, and I hope you all have some kind of notebook or something to write on, because I'm going to give you the opportunity now to have some business background if you don't already know what to do, right? It's fine to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure, right? And when you're deciding to start a business, as the previous slide said earlier, you have to have a plan. So what I'm going to do for you all today, since you sign up for the workshop, is to give you some insight. A lot of people are online on social media selling this information, and you can get it for free, right? And I'm going to, it's bite size, it's much deeper. And I have already done this with a lot of people from previous workshops. Add me on LinkedIn if you want, and pick my brain if you want, because I'm a CUNY girl, I'm a New York girl, I'm a Bronx girl, and I'm also an immigrant. And it serves me well to help those who want help. And don't sit there and not ask the questions. I am here to help. I will never tell you no. So now I just want to give you the information. So when you decide that you want to start your business, you have to have a business plan. All right. And in that business plan, you need to have your executive summary. And in that, you want to break down and answer a few of these questions within your business plan, right? What is the vision for your business? What's the mission for your business? What are some of the things you want to achieve in that business? And also, what's your target audience? Whether you are consumer based, meaning you're selling a product online in person, or if you are selling a service. you want to make sure you have that plan clear and set within your business plan. Okay. Who will be involved in your business? Okay. For most of us as young entrepreneurs, we're solo. We are by ourselves until we can afford to hire help. Right. Now, the beauty of it all, when you start learning certain information, if any of your parents, right, you can add your child on the business if they're of age, and you can add that they are the one packaging your product. You can add that they are your TikTok manager. You can add all these things, and what you're giving them as an allowance, you can run through the business as their actual pay. And with that, you can create like a Roth ROI and all these things for your child, and your child is already producing income before they even become 18 years old. So a lot of those things are available to you when you decide to become an entrepreneur. So within your business plan, you want to also think about who is a part of your business when you start. Okay. Any questions about that? No, I can keep going. Awesome.
I have a question.
Okay, Cynthia, go ahead.
Yeah, you said before there is goal and there is there are goals and there are realistic goals. Could you explain this part, please?
Okay, realistic goals. Say, all right, so my 1 year goal, so this is 2024 that we're in, and I took a year off from my business last year, right? So my goal for this year is to relaunch the business. Now that's my 1 year goal. For this month, now I'm going to break down my 1 year goal in 2 months. So I need to, in this month, in January, what are the things I need to accomplish this month to get to my 1 year goal? So if I know, I would say I want to relaunch the business by March, by the end of the first quarter. What are the things I need to accomplish this month? Make it realistic. So I can't say, okay, I need to order 500 supplies. My bank account does not say 500 supplies. No, my bank account say, girl, go order that 100 candles, 100 vessels, right? Be realistic. Not saying don't think big, right? A lot of times we set these big goals and then get anxiety from them. It's good to have big goals, but while we're getting to those big goals, let's chunk down the small ones. Being very practical, yes, being very, very practical and realistic. Because a lot of times when we set these big goals, sometimes you're setting yourself up for failure, right? Because you overachieve and just like, oh my God, you're beating yourself up. But was it practical, achievable, smart goal? Right? Okay. Genevieve says she cannot hear me. Can everybody else hear me fine? Okay. So Cynthia, like for this month, I know I was telling Jason earlier, I took a year off. So I have to start doing research. How much is it going to cost me to reinstate the business? And we're going to cover that in a few slides about the legal entities of the business. So that's all the documentation. And I said, who is involved in the business? For me, because I also have a career, which most of you will have if you decide to balance a career and being an entrepreneur before you are a full-time entrepreneur, I have to have someone on the back end that handles all my legalities for the paperwork and the taxes. I don't have time for it. I don't have the brain for it. So now I have to set up a meeting with her to say, okay, I want to relaunch by March. What are the things we need to get done between January and February on the back end before I can relaunch? Okay. I hope that answers your question. I really don't like this. Oh, there we go. That worked. Okay. Marketing plan. Put a 3 in the chat if you think social media is the only way and best way to market your business. I see no threes. Thank you, God. Social media is not the only way to market your business. Is it great? Yes. Is it a good tool to use? Yes. Because you reach a lot of people faster. But it is another job. Thank you, Sabrina. It is another job and a taxing job. I also took a break from Instagram last year. Next month will be a 1 year that I've been off Instagram. And I did that strategically because I also took a break from the business. Social media marketing is a lot of work. It's not the only way to market your business. TikTok is not the only way to market your business. So if you are really thinking about, algorithm is always changing. And then also the algorithm on social media, which as an entrepreneur, you have to become tech savvy. The more you know, the less you have to outsource. The more tools you have in your toolbox, the less you have to outsource. The less you outsource, the less money you spend on other people and you can put within your business. Okay. So something as Canva, you do not need a graphic designer if you know how to use Canva. Graphic designers are great when you want to design a really good professional logo, but everything else you might need, flyers and all that stuff, use Canva. Business cards, use Vistaprint. I've been in business now for 3 years and I have never, ever paid for any of my marketing tools full price. I've spent probably $10 on 500 business cards because I go on Vistaprint, create an account, use their project folder, and I'll create and design everything I want, and I just wait for everything to be on sale. Be strategic, right? Especially when you're funding everything you're on your own. When it comes to marketing, you have to have a clear plan, your price point for all of your products. How much are you about to spend on marketing? Sabrina mentioned the algorithm when it comes to social media, right? And a lot of that goes with ads. We're all scrolling through social media at some point and we see a lot of ads pop up. Facebook, TikTok, all of them. It's all ads on them now. And unfortunately, most of those ads are never small businesses. Most of them are already big corporations that have the funds to pump into social media marketing, right? How will you go face to face and in front of some of your customers and or your target audience, right? And now is where the face to face marketing come into play. How many of you knew that, you know how we're home and we get those flyers from BJ's or Bath and Body Works or the Bed Bath and Beyond that usually come in the mail? That is available to every business through the U.S. Postal Service. So can you imagine if you create your flyer, you are in the Bronx, and you decided that you're going to do postal marketing through the U.S. Postal Service, and you pick any zip code in the United States. Ship a bulk of your flyers to that post office. You go online on the USPS website and you sign up to do their flyer ad, and they can do the legwork for you. You do not have to go to that neighborhood. You sign up, you pay for it, you ship your flyers to them, and they put them in the mailbox of those individuals in that neighborhood. And most people never thought of that for their small business. So that is face-to-face marketing that you can do. That's old school marketing, right? Using the mail, using the newspaper, using events. So if you decide that you want to do some type of consultation, try and target a lot of business events and network events that often have tables available for you, so you can get into that space. Okay. Any questions about marketing? Nope, we're all good. Okay. Branding. So for most of you that said you were going to start a business, have you thought about what your brand is? And who is the brand? Your brand is something that represents you. It represents your business, your logo, the colors, the font. It's good to have like a brand board, and Canva is a great way to do that. And I think Canva, I'm not sure if it's one of their free features or they make it now the pro feature, but you can upload your logo on Canva and it pulls the colors from your logo and create for you a brand board. So everything is seamless. So your website is the same color. Some of your flyers are the same color, and it only provides that on your algorithm on Canva if you decide to use Canva. I think Vistaprint also have that feature, right? And I love this photo that I saw and says, "You are your own brand." Since being in business and even as a clinical social worker, I noticed people buy into people. People don't buy stuff, they buy people. So if you're not approachable, if you're not confident, and if you're not comfortable with what you're doing, no one is going to trust what you're selling, whether it's a service or a product. No one is going to be confident that you know what you're talking about. They will not trust you with anything. And it all depends on you. It all starts with you. You are the brand of your company. Any question about that? Any questions about that? No? Okay. Sabrina, you have any questions? No, but I hate it. You hate what, Sabrina? Hate being the brand?
No, I hate that that's how it is now, that you kind of have to be the face of your brand. I have no interest in that for the specific service that I offer, but that's the norm. And so I'm trying to figure out ways around it.
What's the specific service that you offer?
I have a bridal beauty business, mobile bridal beauty business, and when I have studied the market, like other people who provide that service, like that's what it is. Like the people who provide the services are the face of the brand. They're in all of the content, blah, blah, blah. I'm just not into it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And when you said beauty, do you do like makeup and hair or?
I do hair, but I have a team and we offer hair and makeup and tanning and different stuff.
Okay. Yes. Unfortunately, in your line of work, you have to be the brand. You have to be the spokesperson, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2024 is going to be me thinking about if I really want to continue or not in that space, because I really have no desire to do social media, and it just keeps going further in that direction and I'm not interested.
Or you can try with your branding, you can try scheduling out your stuff. So even if you don't want to do the heavy social media thing, get somebody else to do it as far as social media. If you don't want to do all the posting and the behind the scenes.
I'm gonna try that. And if that doesn't work, then I'm just gonna have to figure out another business thing to do.
Are you a more like in-person person?
What do you mean?
Like face-to-face discussing your business?
Yes. And yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So try to consider a social media person. You can be like the face of it, but have somebody else monitor the social media when you schedule it out. So if you want if it's your photo on the flyer, even if you don't want to use your photo and use models or whatever services you have, or you have somebody else on staff, or use customer photos if they're open to it, and let somebody else push that, and you can do the events, in-person events, the bridal events. You're the one working the table, you're the one doing those consultation, if that works better for you. So that's how I was like, face-to-face or social media, both goes hand in hand. But definitely use Canva I think Canva has the scheduling feature, and Planoly, I think, also have the scheduling feature. Sundays would usually be my day of planning content, and then I would have put it in the drafts, and then someone sends it out for me. People can read reviews about your product. So how do you get your product out there? Yes, people can definitely read reviews about your product, but then what kind of products, right? For me here in Florida, New York is a little bit different, but summertime is coming up. Down here, I'm able to, I'm sure somewhere in New York does it, but here you go doing the research and the legwork. But I was able to partner up with a business down here that hosts monthly events. So attending some of these events is how I got my candles out there to the local market. I think it was 2022 summer, I was even a part of the mall. So they have like a storefront in the Miami International Mall that they only dedicate to small businesses. And we're able to buy a space there for the month. And we don't have to worry about having a sales associate, being there as a sales associate. They have staff there, and 100% of the profit is ours. We just paid the fee for that month, and all the sales come into us. So networking with somebody else that's doing all the local work is a great strategy to get your product out there and promote. If you notice, it's so easy. If I ask Sabrina right now, girl, where did you get that blouse from? Quickly, she will tell me where. But then when it comes to talking about our business, for some reason we shy away from it. So Anna, the best way to get your product out there is to talk about it. Don't be shy about it. I have posted things about my business on every platform, but it's how you're doing it. So I've posted about my candle business on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram when I was on Instagram. But on LinkedIn, I didn't shy away to say, oh my God, no, these are all, bougie, stuck up, 9-to-5ers. They don't want to see my entrepreneur venture. Oh, please. I've gotten so many customers from LinkedIn, former NYU alums, Mercy alums, people I worked with. If you're confident about the services you're providing, use all networks and don't be afraid to talk about it. You don't need to be on Cynthia. Oh, I answered that. You don't need to be on social media, but you are the brand because you're talking about it, right? Nobody's going to promote it like you. LinkedIn for marketing my business. I haven't considered it. Yes, use every platform. Use every platform to market your business. Do not be shy about it. Also, attend alumni events. Since I've moved here, I did not know that NYU South Florida is one of their largest alumni chapters. And I've attended events once a month. Last year was the first time I slowed down, and that's because work kind of took over because of the position I have on my job. But attend everything. If you now become an entrepreneur and you're balancing both being an entrepreneur and also your career, every pocket of network is yours. Always have your business card. Always. Jason wouldn't know all the million and one things that I do if I was not networking and if I was not promoting on all platforms, right? Don't be shy about it. No one else should be proud of your business like you are. Okay. Marketing through mail is the U.S. Postal Service. Okay. So just go on is it USPS.gov? I think it is. Yes. And there is hold on, let me pull up my phone. I would say I will share screen, but honey, you do not want to see my screen. Okay. USPS.com. Okay. And there should be, hold on, I'm going to tell you right now. I want to walk you through it. You will see there's a business section. And hold on. I think it's promotions and incentives. Hold on, business promotions. But it's on their website though. Business flyer marketing. It's called Every Door Direct Mail on the USPS.com. It says affordable targeted advertising. Okay. Use Every Door Direct Mail service to promote your small business in your local community. If you're having a sale, opening a new location, or offering coupons, that's the best way. Now, even though it says your local, hold on. Even though it says your local community, you do not have to limit yourself to your local community. Okay. A part of my planning of research, I like to Google the most expensive neighborhoods in America. I like to do that. I want to know their zip code. And what I love with this online tool, I wish I could share screen like to show you guys. But when you do go, it allows you to narrow it down by age, the route, the income, the size of, it's kind of creepy that these things are out there, but this is how they get us at home with all the mail that comes in, right? They're using the postal service. Okay. So the residence, if you want just the residential route or you want a residential and business route, the city, hold on, and it says here total. So you can select the total amount of flyers you want to reach, send out. But the map is kind of creepy, like it really does give you a full map. And you just search by the zip code. So if you went on good old, Mr. Google, and Mr. Google told you the wealthiest cities and neighborhoods in America, and you go on the U.S. Postal Service and you type in that zip code, why not send your flyer over there? Why not? Sabrina, I mean, you're in New York. Girl, you better hit Westchester, you know?
I actually recently moved there and I was
Okay.
planning on going to some of the country clubs and stuff and dropping off flyers, but this is easier.
This is easier. This is so much easier. You don't have to do all of that, right? And there's also like pros and cons to having your face as your brand, especially as a minority, right? There's pros and cons to that. So you also want to be strategic. For me, when I market my candle company, I don't mind. I show up. I'm like, not only am I a Black girl, I'm an immigrant, right? So I use that as a part of my story within my company, right? But I've noticed when I design some flyers, it might not have my face on it. You literally have to come on my website to see that it's Black owned by a Black woman, right? Some of my flyers don't have my photo on it. Some of them do. Some of them only have just photos of the candle on there, and I'll just put it's a small business, right? And that's how I do it sometimes. Okay. Word of mouth helps a lot too when you're marketing your business. Use what you already have with your customers. So when you have some kind of referral-based loyalty program for your customers, that is also wonderful. Don't be afraid to give out a free service or a free gift, right? They love that. Personalize your business as well. One thing I did that I noticed went well with my customers was my thank you cards. I handwrite every single one of my thank you cards. I never did a generic one. That is not does not cost a lot of money. I will just go to the dollar store and stack up on the thank you cards that they have, and every order I handwrite my thank you card. And for some reason they love it. They eat it up because they're like they've never received that from a business before, right? And another thing as well, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Raja? That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Raja.
Raja, okay. Another great thing with marketing too, if you're starting your business, make sure you have a website. Please do not have your business and you're on social media saying DM me or text me. I will not take you seriously. I will think you're out here scamming and hustling. So if you have a website, if you notice when we're going a lot
Say
of
that again.
platforms, have a website, have some kind of service-based home where your customers and clients can contact you. Don't leave it on the DM me, text me. No. People respect your business based on what you're presenting to them. Okay. So when you do have a website, it's good to capture email. I know we all get flooded with emails, especially girls, if you shop on Shein. Shein and Temu and Fashion Nova and all of them, they're not afraid to text us a million times throughout the day and email us a million times. So does Amazon. And they catch us every single time because we always click it. So email marketing is perfect as well, because what if social media shuts down? Right? What if social media shuts down? Now, legal essentials. This is a part of a business that most people don't talk about. They're talking about social media, they're talking about branding, they're talking about marketing. But if you're running your business properly, you have to also consider the legal essentials. If you don't have your business on paper, you're hustling, okay? And that's fine. Some of us have to hustle before we get to the legal part. That is okay, okay? You have to consider what legal entity you want for your business. And that goes back to the vision. That goes back to the vision you have. How far do you see your business going? Research shows that most entrepreneurs don't see a profit in their business until about 6, 7, almost 10 years in. Most people, okay? A lot of those Black-owned businesses we're seeing popping up in Target and all. I remember once I read an article with the ladies will know this, the feminine product Honey Pot. They were in business for a good 12 years before they saw profit, right? So don't let social media fool you in thinking as soon as you start your business, no, it won't. No, it will not. Full transparency, like I mentioned earlier, I took a year off from my business. Now, personally, my business entity is an S corp. I did it that way because of the long goals I have for my company and the vision I have for my company. Initially, when I started, it was an LLC. After further researching and meeting with an accountant and financial advisor when it comes to business stuff, we decided to switch to S Corp because of the branding I'm going to do for the company and the longevity. And also the tax breaks. Okay. I cannot give you legal advice on that. Meet with someone that can and do your research on it. For New York, I think you guys go on newyork.gov. I think it's ny.gov to register your business. I think I pulled it up earlier. So yeah, ny.gov. To register your business and to start a business, but do a deep dive into researching the different entities of your business and your goals for it. What I did learn, and I can share with you personally, I realized that there were more tax breaks when I switched from an LLC to an S corp. But once I did that, it's on tax. It's tax, yeah. When I did that switch, that's when I kind of just like back off, hands off, and let someone that knows it handle it. Because I really don't mess with Uncle Sam. I really don't. But now it's gonna kick me in the tush because relaunching, I think it's just good old Republic of Florida. Reinstating my entity, my business entity, is gonna cost me like $900. My heart hurts thinking about it. But yeah, so research the different entities. If you're thinking about a nonprofit, definitely research that to the T before you launch, because there's so many different layers when it comes to a nonprofit. Okay. Okay. A part of legal essentials as well. I've seen this on social media, and when I tell you, it annoys me and it upsets me. Okay. You do not have to pay anyone to get an EIN number for your business. An EIN is the employer identification number. Please do not give anyone money to do this. Go on the IRS website. It is absolutely free. The EIN is basically like the social security number for your business. Okay. And you're going to need that when you're opening your business bank account. If you decide to apply for grants, if you decide to try to start establishing business credits, and you're doing things the proper way for your business, you want to have your EIN number. The tax authority certification, now that's for folks that want to do some kind of sale, goods and stuff like that. So you can add tax to your product. So I have it for the state of Florida. And it's a lot. So again, if you're doing things the right way, make sure you have these things, okay? And you want to make sure you have a business bank account. No, not Cash App as your business bank account, an actual business bank account, okay? Okay, any questions before I venture into how in the world do we balance it all? How in the world do we balance being an entrepreneur and our degree? Because we're spending a lot of money to get that piece of paper, right? We have our dreams and our career path, but how do we balance it all? So Sabrina, I want to ask you, how do you balance it in school, working on your degree, and also running a business?
I have no idea. It's a struggle. I just started this thing where I'm trying like different schedules out. to see which ones work best for me. So I'm gonna do the same schedule for 2 weeks. Then I'm gonna try a different one for 2 weeks and see which one works best. This is low season for me. People are sending inquiries and stuff, but there's not actual like weddings happening. So we'll see what happens when high season starts.
Okay. Suggestion, do it for at least 30 days, not just 2.
Only because there's 2 different schedules. So it will wind up
Okay.
being 30 days altogether, but
Okay.
seeing which schedule works best for
Works
me.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but I do see your hands up. Kritika?
Kritika?
Kritika? Okay.
Yes.
What's your
Hi,
sorry.
sorry. I just had a question before we moved on. You mentioned that, you have to do a little bit of hustling before you get into the legal side. My question to you is, at what point in time in your business should you start looking at the legal?
I did it right away. When I decided that it will be a legitimate business and not just a hustle, I did it right away. I Googled, Google's our best friend. Because, Florida's a foreign land for me. So I kind of Googled where to register my business and, or how to register my business in Florida. And I did not I think sometime when you Google it, the first thing that pop up is like legal Zoom and it charges you. You can do these things on your own. And that's also in the planning stage. When you're writing your vision down and you're planning that this is not just something you want to do for a quick buck for a short period of time, and you want to do it the right way for a long time, do it right away. And if you can't decide on LLC or an S corp, get a free consultation with someone that handle business consultations. Like they'll do business taxes, and if you do have your personal tax person, you can ask them if they do business taxes too, and they can guide you as far as the proper business entity for what you want to do. But definitely something you want to do right away. I am just starting off on an e-commerce online business. However, I have LegalZoom do everything because I realize it is a lot to put together. It is a lot to put together, but I personally realize that when you try to do it on your own, you understand it better. And e-commerce, and Genevieve, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I can guide you through a lot of stuff. If you're doing e-commerce on Shopify, it's one of the easiest things to do. It is overwhelming, yes, but it is doable if you spend time trying to do it on your own. There's nothing more rewarding than understanding what you're doing, especially when you're running your own business, because then you can confidently say, no, I don't want. Yes, this works for me. No, if you're knowledgeable, then no one can jerk you around. And that's the power in having that. Okay. Any more questions about it? A lot of you said you wanted to be entrepreneurs. So any more questions about the business, and before I venture into, what Sabrina and I are probably struggling with, balancing it all. Yes, Cynthia. Did I not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So the side of money, you talk about the legal services and the packaging, but how do you handle the side of the money, the budget?
Handle the budget. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, research. It depends on what you want to do, right? So if you're starting a consultation business, there's not a lot of upfront money that you have to worry about. More so probably for flyers and things like that. That's why it's good to have a business bank account. So all your funds is coming out of one account. And it's not mixed with your personal account. Now, how I started it all off, it was out of my own pocket, to be honest. I would, again, realistic goals, right? I set the goals of when I wanted to launch my business. And while researching, and like I said, I would do transparency and I will show you guys all my notebooks. But I will go on these websites. In my business with a candle company, I had to research how much the vessels cost, how much my wax will cost me, the fragrances and things like that. And I would see the budget. And it came out of my own pocket. I remember for like 3-4 months, I sacrificed not going to bottomless brunch. Hurt my heart. I was like, no, that mimosa can buy me some wax. So let me just put it in my account, in the business account. And that's what I did. There's also what I did not mention. There's also a lot of business grants. And there's also ways to build business credit. So there's something called, if you're taking notes, there's something called a net 30 or net 60. NET, so net 30 or net 60, okay? This you can find on Quill. You can find on Staples. And Uline, okay? What this means is they're trusting you with the product and you have 30 days to pay them for it. We've all done Afterpay, Klarna, what's the other one? Afterpay, Klarna. What's the other one? There's a third one my mama mentioned.
Affirm.
But Affirm, there you go. All right, net 30 or net 60. I personally like Quill over Uline. Uline is too expensive. So I can show you paper, right? We all work, you've all seen all of this. If I'm running my business from home and I want printing paper, I need ink, I need pens, I need highlighters, I need all these things. Of course, I can run to Staples and Target to buy it out of pocket. No, because I also want to establish business credit. Now we go back to the EIN situation, right? Because I want to establish business credit, I purchase everything through Quill. So even if my bill with Quill is $100, I go on there, put in my order, it comes to my house, and I know I have $30 to pay them that $100. And they report it to somewhere called nav.com. I heard rumors that they're getting rid of Nav. And hold on, there's another one. I don't ever want to lie to you guys. Nav.com, you have to get something called a DUNS number. DUNS. Okay. I've heard rumors that they're getting rid of the DUNS number. But when you establish business credit, it cuts back the cost of out of pocket. But Cynthia, you got to start somewhere. You get what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere. You know, unless you have a trust fund and you have it to pull from, but you have to start somewhere. So I started out of pocket, but I budgeted out until I start working on the business credit end. And when you start establishing business credit, these companies report, you're welcome, they'll report your business credit score to NAV. I think they reported to NAV or the Duns, one of them. And then it opens up now the ability to apply for a business credit card, right? And when you do that, you want to make sure you're not using your social security number on anything. You need to separate both worlds. Your social security is you, the EIN is your business. Two different things, okay? Also, you can get gas cards when you start establishing business if you drive, right? A gas credit card helps. Every place we shop have business credit stuff available where you can start running everything through your business. For me, even with Quill, because I do candles, I've ordered my paper towel. Mind you, I'm home, but I mean, I order paper towel through it. I've ordered snack through it, and they have it says like it's your break room type of thing. One more very important thing before we move on. You should not have your business registered under your home address. You should not have your business registered under a PO box. Okay? You want to go to, hold on. I'm going to give you the website right now. You want to get a virtual address. And even though it says virtual address, these are actual physical locations that allow you to use their address as your business address, okay? And it's usually $10 a month. You choose the zip code. So choose somewhere that is close to your home where you can grab your mail or packages if it comes, okay? Make sure you have that ironed out in your back pocket. So when you're registering your business and all of that, you're putting your virtual address on there, not your home address, okay? All right. I hope you're all getting something from this. I think it's like 22 of you on here. So I hope you guys got some good info on the entrepreneur end. Okay. How do you balance both worlds? Right. And this is where my social work degree comes in. When it comes, yes, there's a lot of business credit. And I also have, if you message me on LinkedIn and you want this, please, again, do not hesitate to contact me on LinkedIn. There's also business grants. There's literally grants for everything. I remember I paid for a course, and I have a booklet with, it's 232 pages of grants. I'll give it to you all for free if you want it. And grants, you don't have to pay back. The only con to grants is that the application process and you just don't know if you're going to get it. But hey, it doesn't hurt to apply, right? There's literally grants for everything. Grants for being a woman. I didn't even know Dollar General have grants. Like there's free money out there. And that kind of goes back to what Cynthia was saying. There's free money out there if you want to. Yes, it's good practice to just apply. And they want to know, some of them want to see a business plan. They want to know if you have a business plan. You have some grants that are specifically just for business that's just starting off. They have grants for nonprofits, right? That's targeting children or immigrants or the Black and Brown community. There's literally grants for everything. So if you want that, please message me for free. I paid a lot of money for it, so I don't mind passing it on. I did a workshop and that was a part of it. So when it comes to balancing entrepreneurship and a career, creating clear boundaries is very okay. Keisha, I got you, girl. Message me on LinkedIn. Creating crucial boundaries is very important. Okay. I would recommend for mentorship for anyone who needs specific help for starting. Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one, Sabrina. Okay. Creating clear boundaries is crucial. Without defining limits, it can be easy to let the two worlds bleed into each other, causing stress and burnout. And I say that because when you decide that you want to also venture into entrepreneurship, your brain never stops. Sabrina, I don't know if you experienced this. Raj, I don't know if you experienced this. I see you over there taking notes because I feel like your brain is also going. Your brain never stops. So you have to create boundaries and your own personal schedule to balance both worlds. So I've been up from 3:30 this morning because with my 9 to 5, not a 9 to 5, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I have to be in the office by 4:30, 5 o'clock the latest, because we open the doors at 5 o'clock. And I'm in the office from 4:30 to 1 o'clock most afternoons, 1:30 the latest. When I come home, by the time I get home, I try to breathe a little bit. My phone stays on do not disturb until about 2:30, because that gave me time to come home and eat and shower and just like woosah for a second. Because oftentimes I'm also seeing private clients from 4 p.m. to around 7 p.m. That's when I start doing private clients for therapy. So boundaries is very important. I can't do business stuff during that time. I'll burn out. So within my personal schedule, I try to push most of my business stuff for the weekend. Okay. And that was before I started seeing private clients. After I started seeing private clients, before I would come home, woosah, and then go straight into candle making. But I have clear boundaries, right? One, I've kind of just mentioned this, setting up specific work time for both your job and your entrepreneur ventures. And you want to also set up time for self-care, which I'm going to go into too, because you want to avoid overworking yourself. You have your goals, you will meet your goals. You cannot meet your goals if you're laid up in the bed because you're tired, and your body will shut down on you. I've experienced it. I experienced it in 2022. I didn't realize that I was on goal for almost like 2 years straight, between launching the business, traveling a lot. I think 2021, I was gone like every month, traveling a lot. I did also a lot of like events here, a lot of farmers market, a lot of fairs locally. And I was just on go. And October 2022, I started feeling really sick. And I went to the doctor and she told me I was chronically exhausted. She was like, Tasheena, you need 8 hours of sleep. I was like, nobody in their right mind have 8 hours of sleep. If you're an adult, we're not sleeping for 8 hours. No, we're not. She's like, but you need 8 hours of sleep. My body was like literally shutting down on me. So that kind of forced me to really practice what I preach and tell my mentees and also some of my clients, as far as like slowing down and not burn myself out. Okay. Okay. Say no. Become very comfortable with being uncomfortable. It is okay to say no. It's okay to say no to brunch. It's okay. How many of you put a 1 in the chat if you're also parents? That's a tough one. Put a 1 in the chat if you're also parents. Juggling school. Practice does make perfect. That's a thing I'm not like big on. I don't think practice makes perfect. Like, Practice makes you become just comfortable in figuring it out, right? No one is a parent? No? Oh, you are. Okay, Sabrina, you are? No one else? Well, say
My
no to
son is an
brunch.
adult, though.
Oh, he
Yeah.
doesn't count. He doesn't count. He doesn't. Emily, good for you. I'm not a parent either. I was a dog mom, if that counts. Um, so saying no to your social circle. I know a lot of times it can be hard because you don't want to have that fear of missing out. But if you have these goals that you want to meet and you're serious about them, it's okay to say no. It is not easy juggling school, and I'm sure some of you probably also work. And then if you want to add on a business as well, if they're not supporting some of your goals that you have, it's okay to say no. It's okay to slow down. If they're not bringing over some soup or bringing over the bottle of wine and help rub your feet while you type up your business plan, leave me alone. Like it's okay to say no. And you will start seeing who's for you and who's not for you. Don't take any of that personal. Since starting my business and just being focused on career goals, because I do have a lot of career goals on top of business goals, um, your network start changing a little bit. And that's okay. That is okay. Not everybody's gonna climb Mount Everest with you. Okay. Not a lot of them can handle that climb. So rest is important. If you're not resting, you're not focused. You're really not. Okay. Did I go back? Okay. Okay. Mindset, spirituality, and physical wellness. When nobody else celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself. Okay. Even if you gave yourself 5 minutes to breathe, celebrate that 5 minutes. If you set a goal for yourself, like, okay, when I get home and I finish my assignment, I'm going to spend an hour researching business entity, or I'm going to spend an hour exploring Canva, how I create my own flyer, and you stick to that hour, celebrate it. Celebrate your small wins. Okay. So that when the big ones come, it's not a shock to you. Okay. Must have some kind of spiritual routine in your practices and in your boundaries, whether it's God, Allah, Buddha, you want to call it the universe. Understand that there is a source greater than you that's guiding you through this world. Okay. So it's good to have that focus, whether you're meditating, whether you're praying, whether you're working out. Some people working out is also their spiritual practice, but having something to turn your mind off. Michelle Obama was just talking on a podcast, the Jay Shetty podcast, this week, I think it was. And she said she now she found a love in knitting. Just knitting. That sounds like an old lady thing, but she found a love in knitting. I have a friend that also loved knitting, and she was like, it just kind of turned her brain off from all these million and one things that she have going on, and she's just focusing on moving her hands to create this thing when she's done. And she also loved tennis. So spending that hour of tennis time allows her to kind of just wind down and focus on something else. Love reading books. I have a slide on books. I have some of my top favorite books I love recommending to people. Origami. Emily, interesting. I love that. Yoga. I need to get back into yoga. I really do. It is a form of therapy. I'm teaching myself to sew. I love that. Anybody else want to share, like, what is your wind down? What is your center from work and school and all the other million things that you have going on? Anyone else want to share in the chat? We would love to hear it. Part in a fitness challenge. Girl, I wish I had the patience to sew too. Not anymore. When I was younger.
It actually, like, I guess the pattern making part
Okay.
takes a lot of patience, but like the actual sewing, like that is very cathartic, I find.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
to make new vegan recipes. I like Keisha. That's fun. Google searching broad info. Okay. Listen to gospel and Western music and taking a walk in the park. But Genevieve, it's cold outside now, isn't it? Exercising. Eggplant. I can only have eggplant parmesan or a deep fried eggplant. Listen,
Eggplant
anything
is
deep fried,
so good. I
anything deep fried is good. But
listen,
eggplant,
listen, go to an Indian restaurant and order the eggplant. You will be changed.
I don't eat meat either, so that's a good. I'm gonna egg. I never heard of eggplant chili. Gospel radio and videograph. Nice, nice. Okay, wonderful. I love this. I like researching beauty products too. You'd be surprised the crazy that's on your face. Please don't tell me some Emily. Please, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I really don't. My top 6 books. I highly recommend. I like going on hikes, and I'm in a couple of whiskey clubs. Sabrina, message me on LinkedIn. We have to talk about the whiskey club. Walking,
Oh my
reading
God, I
books,
have to say, I have to
baking,
read these books.
listening to podcasts and music. Beautiful. Love it. It warms my heart as a therapist that you all have self-care practices. Earlier I asked Jason, like, how's his heart space? We don't ask each other enough how we're doing. A lot of times we will ask that question and do it in passing. Meditating, working out, at the gym, cooking. Beautiful. Yes, we have our career goals. Yes, we have our entrepreneurial goals. But please, I have three of these I'm currently listening to. Yes, Keisha, that one is my favorite one. But yes, we have our entrepreneurial goals. Yes, we have our professional career goals. But please, 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 if you don't do anything else, take time out to woosah. Take time out to create memories with your friends and your family. Take time out to check on them. Be intentional about that, showing up in your heart space for them, but also for yourself. Because our reality is that the people closest to us, even though they are proud and they will celebrate us, there will be a time when we only become their memory. And during that time when we become their memory, they will not remember our degrees. They will not stand and talk about we graduated honors or we went all the way up to getting a PhD, or our business flourished so much that we became a part of the Forbes list. They will talk about the times they spent with us, the memories and the laughs that they shared. So always make time, okay? Read. I love that a lot of you put reading. These are 6 of my favorites. I have a lot. It was hard for me to kind of like narrow down my 6. The Four Agreements is a book I will reread and reread once a year. It's one of my favorites. I highly, highly, highly recommend everyone read that one. Think and Grow Rich is a good one. The Book of Joy has to be my ultimate favorite book. It's a great balance to see the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Tutu being best friends from two different religious spectrum, talking about just love and happiness and joy. Yes, definitely read it. Brian Tracy, No Excuses, is a great book for those who said they really want to venture into entrepreneurship. He broke down how we do make excuses for a lot of things. We really do. But the power in discipline. You will not be successful in balancing life beyond the degree if you are not disciplined. Discipline, discipline, discipline. You will not be here right now working on your degree, whatever it is, if you weren't disciplined and dedicated. So put that energy into everything else in life. Okay. Think Like a Monk, Jay Shetty. I think I have this weird, just like crush on Jay Shetty as far as his mind of peace and just spreading high vibration and love and unity in the world. Like I'm obsessed with him and I love listening to his podcast. And I think also it's the clinical side of me. I feel like his podcast is a good mental health podcast. And he has great guests on there. So definitely check it out. He has it on YouTube and also anywhere you stream podcasts. And his book is also pretty good. Think Like a Monk is nothing, it's not very monkey. It's like basically breaking down these principles that we all can utilize, hence why it's called Think Like a Monk. Unf Yourself, one of my faves. One of my faves. And it will always stay in my favorite. Okay. So take time to read. If you're not a reader and you want to do audible works, but get that in your brain. As human beings, we should always be evolving. It is pretty good. It is pretty good. I think I'm finito. Any questions? Jason, I did good today. Look at that. I have a few minutes for questions. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything you want to know that I didn't touch on? Now's your chance. I really hope you guys got something from this. Jason, thank you again for having me. I really, 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 really love doing this. I wish all of you the very best in your academic career. And also, if you decide to really go forth with your entrepreneurial stuff, I also wish you all the best with that. And please don't hesitate to contact me on not social media, on LinkedIn, because I feel like I'm going to be away from social media for a long time. But find me on LinkedIn and please just message me. I will answer any of your questions if you're afraid to ask them now. But you have the floor if you have any questions. Connect with you. You're very welcome. You're welcome. Awesome, Tisha. Look forward to hearing from you, my dear. Okay, thank you, Reggie.
Thanks. I'm sending you a message now. Bye,
awesome.
everybody. Bye,
thank
Jason.
you so much, Raphael. That was great. You're very welcome, Angelise.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
For this time, okay. So, maybe I will contact you about it. But I used to work on some stuff. But then when I talk to people, because sometimes they told you like get networking, talk to people about what you want to do. And I used to do that. And someone told me last time, few years ago, someone told me like, "You're too young to do that," and totally like I was so broke. Like he hurt me. This person hurt me, so I put down all the goal or everything I planned to do, and I used to talk to one person I know, and he called me. We was discussing, and he told me like, "What about your goals?" And I told him like, "I give up." And he
Mm-hmm.
told me, "You cannot give up." And that's why when you told about candle and all you went through, and
Mhm.
you say to go to the legal services, but the first time you have to start small, and you cannot go directly to the legal services. That's why I would
Mhm.
like to know how you did. You told me you can start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, and how? My question is how, because it's not easy. You are like, how I'm gonna start writing down my thoughts, my goal, and how I'm gonna put that for the next step. It's something always I think about it. Like someone used we did have workshop, and this guy taught us write down your goals, and I used to take my planner, and I'm like my planner and my notebook, and I was like, I don't have idea. And I need to look and go to see. So
one one strategy. I love you for being honest and transparent.
thank you.
Um, one strategy, especially if you have a lot going on and it's hard to kind of put your thoughts to paper. One strategy I love using, and I've told clients this in therapy, start with a circle. Start with a regular circle, and you can just put the word me or my brain in the word in the middle of the circle, and just start with arrows and just write your idea. So if your idea is candle, baking, catering, consulting, draw your circle and do your different branch. And for each branch, write your idea for that branch. Flip to the next page if your idea is candle. I'm gonna use candle because that's what I'm doing. Candle, right? Just write your ideas. You just like, I want it to smell like cinnamon. I like cinnamon. Oh, wait, I like gold vessels. Just it might not make sense, but just to write the thoughts out. Start that way. Get it all out. And then you can go back each page and say, okay, if I decide to do catering, this is what I would like it to look like. Start with the name of the business, right? And that you can think about that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No one is saying it to finish it in a night. Okay. Thing is that if I wanted to be Cynthia's sweet cookie treats, start there. Right? So do it in bite sizes. But you can definitely just like message me on LinkedIn and we can go deeper into what your ideas are and how you can execute it. But never, ever, ever let anyone tell you you're too young. You're never too young, you're never too old to start anything or accomplish anything. The point is to start.
Thank you. But where is
You're
your link?
welcome.
The link information.
Do you have Jason on LinkedIn?
No, I don't have he didn't give, I don't know if he does give us his information about it.
It's I think he posted my LinkedIn. You did, right? Or just on LinkedIn, just search for Tasheena Salmon. You'll find me.
So Jason, could you give me your information on link?
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? I think that's it, Jason. Jason, you're still muted.
I'm having technology stuff because I'm remote and I'm not home. So now different things are happening. So first of all, let me say thank you, Tasheena, for the information and the work. Appreciate it. I actually bought a candle for Tasheena's company back in a couple of years ago from my wife. But I truly appreciate her as a individual human being. We've been friends for a very long time. We won't talk about how long. And she is a great resource in terms of these particular skill sets. And I think that I heard some things in there. I'm not necessarily an entrepreneur myself, but I heard some things in there that I think would be valuable to anybody who is exploring personal business. The direct mail, the establishing the statuses and things like that. So all of that I think is very positive. And then of course the personal side, trying to monitor, you're balancing everything. It's difficult. And, we have conversations on a regular basis at work, where I talk to students and they're trying to balance things out with school and work and family, and other obligations. And it's not the easiest thing to do. So it's a good reminder for everybody to try to have a work-life balance. And we do have that as part of our CUNY STAR model, where we try to talk about this every so often. We use the different entities of the college and then people who come in like Tasheena to talk about it. Because it is important, right? It's like taking a deep breath, taking a rest, monitoring your health and exploring opportunities with other people too. That's really important, right? So the relationship part, we talked this morning with Brian about, how to navigate relationships, but sometimes those personal relationships are really important too. Navigating them, exploring them, spending time with the people that you love and care about, and not kind of like trying to figure them out, but just trying to sort of absorb them, and live, in the moment with them, I think is very valuable. I do have children, and I waited very late in life to have them, so I have young children. So I try to absorb those moments when one of them says they want to play or they want to, write something, or we try to write a poem together, things like that. Those are very valuable ones. It doesn't always have to be about homework. It doesn't always have to be about like, something has to be learned or something has to be done for a purpose. I think sometimes it just needs to be like, let's just spend a moment together. And I think those are important moments for all of us, right? Whether it's with our parents or our siblings or our significant others or our children. I think it's a good way to relax. So thank you for reminding us of that. And that being said, I think, there were no more questions. Um, I want to honor the fact that, a lot of us do have other things going on. And so let me remove this pin for the moment. So, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad that you took some time out to be here with us today. Uh, I just remind everybody, we have 2 more workshops coming up tomorrow with the great Sean Dove, and Joshua Fredenberg. And both of those workshops are really going to explore some things that I think are very important in terms of leadership development, leadership qualities. So I hope we'll end the week with like a really strong set of workshops. But I think we're, every development in each one of these workshops, I think helps us, each and every one of us, to understand where we are, understand what we're looking to do, and giving us like resources on how to do it. So I thank you all for participating. And now I'm out of breath. I'm dry. Kritika has a question. Look, there's a question.
Hi, sorry, it took me a while to formulate the question, but this goes back to Cynthia's question. For me, business entrepreneurship is something I want to do, but sometimes I get overwhelmed with, thinking about this is something I'm good at, something might be useful. What if in the future it's not good enough, or it doesn't become a viable business? And that's the reason I asked about the legal question. How and my this question is, what are some ways to try your hand out at a certain business before you actually commit to it, and commit to it in terms of like actually forming an LLC or a sole proprietorship? So yeah.
If it's something you really like. I literally just had this conversation with an old childhood friend. because we are career-driven individuals and we have a degree in a specific area of study that's gonna be our quote unquote retirement on, your entrepreneurial thing should be something that comes natural to you. It should not be something that feels like another job, if that makes sense. Where you find joy in doing it. I find joy in creating candles, right? That even on my 1 year break in November, I had customers contacted me on my business line, like, the holidays are coming, we need candles. And I'm like, but I'm not doing the business. They were like, we don't care. Like, do it as just a special thing, but we need candles. And I'm like, okay. It took nothing out of me. So explore what are some things you enjoy that you feel like can bring in some income into your life, that even if you are exhausted from work, it takes no extra effort in doing. And if that is like childcare, if that is providing information in a consultation form to other people, and just like, this is something I love doing and it doesn't even feel like a job to me. If you enjoy beauty and fashion and you want to start a online or e-commerce boutique, and because you love it so much, taking 2 hours out of your day to research the latest fashion in accessories or clothing, it does not feel like work to you. So that's a internal exploration of figuring out, what can I not stop thinking about, or what does like my family always ask me to do, or my friends always ask me to do, that I really love doing it, but I'm not making any money from it, but I can if I decide to. So that's like a good way to do it. My best friend enjoy baking. She can get up and bake really weird cakes. And I was like, turn it into a business. Own your skill. And she's in Jamaica and she's doing it now, and earning a lot of money from it. Another friend of mine, she's an event planner now, and her husband, they enjoy like personalizing gifts. And I saw that in her. I was like, turn it into a business. And she retired, and she's officially, both of them are full-time entrepreneurs. So just explore the things you really, really passionately enjoy that right now doesn't feel like work. And you can start on the side. Like, if you decide to charge for it and see if income comes in before you decide to make it as a business.
Okay, thank you so much. That really helps.
You're welcome.
All right, do we have any more questions before we go? Just gonna give you the last chance to do that. All right, well, Miss Florida.
Please don't ever call me that. Don't ever. Refuse.
Yeah. Oh, you
I'm
know
a New
what?
Yorker trapped in the state.
This doesn't really go on the video, but I was at the counter one day and I was talking to somebody who was from St. Elizabeth, and we talked
Oh,
about
really?
Bamboo Road.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna visit in July
Okay.
around
Enjoy.
with my dad. Yes.
But
All right.
thank you so much
You're
for the
welcome. You're
workshop.
very
Thank you
welcome.
everybody for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you
Have a
soon.
good day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.